Good afternoon, everybody. So, Anar, you can start.
Okay, so my topic is how to help people at risk of coronavirus. Coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, was named for the shape of the virus that looked like a crown. First, I'll explain how to keep yourself safe. To keep yourself safe, you should wash your hands daily after going outside to the bathroom and before eating. Wash your hands for 20 seconds at least. 20 seconds is about two happy birthday songs. If you don't have soap or water around you, you should use hand sanitizer. WikiHow explained that it is better to use hand sanitizer that is 60 to 95% alcohol. But that isn't the only thing about washing your hands. You should wash your palms, fingers, between fingers, and back of hands and wrists. Clean your house daily. That means mopping, vacuuming, and cleaning spaces that you usually touch, like countertops, tables, doorknobs, bathroom fixes, phones, keyboards, remote controllers, and anything else around your house that you daily touch. You should try not to touch things outside. That is because the coronavirus might be on it. If not, then other germs might be. A temperature of around 4 Celsius, some of the coronavirus could live up to 28 days. A temperature of 30 to 40 Celsius, coronavirus survives for a shorter period of time. Here are some examples of vitamin D. Coronavirus can survive up to 5 days on metal, glass, paper, and ceramics, 4 days on wood, 2 to 3 days on plastic and stainless steel, 1 day on cardboard, 4 hours on copper, 2 to 8 hours on alum, and a new study from Fox News named Dr. Daniel Griffin said that the coronavirus can survive for 3 hours in the air. You should also keep the distance between you and other people, unless they're your family. The distance should be about 2 meters, 6 feet. This is to keep the virus from spreading. Try to sure not to touch anyone or anything. That means no hugs, kisses, hugs, and handshakes. This is why we have quarantine, in order to stop the virus from spreading. When going to the store to buy food, or even just outside, you should always wear a mask. A mask can prevent the coronavirus to get to your mouth and nose, but you should also not touch your face because the virus might be on your hands. If not, then other germs might be. If you're sick, the virus will protect other people because as you speak, germs might spread to other. When you sneeze or cough, you should aim in your elbow or a tissue. Some people aim in their hands, but it is a bad idea because you touch things with the hand and the germs spread on the surface that you touched. Now, I'll explain who are the most at risk of getting it. People who are older than 60 are at risk because they have a weak immune system. The immune system is a system that protects your body. Imagine the bacteria as soldiers. They came to attack you and take over the body. Now, the immune system has to protect your body from them. It sends its own kind of soldiers to fight, the bacteria soldiers. When you get to the age of 60, the immune system is weakening, so does the body get older and weaker, which means the immune system does too. Because of this, it's easier for the bacteria to get in. A sick person is a person with bacteria fighting with the immune system. They are also at risk because while the immune system is fighting the germs, they don't protect from other things that might attack your body. The bacteria attacks your body so they can take over. The immune system sends out the soldiers to protect the whole body. It's giving all its power to protect. This is why, while you are sick, you do feel a little weaker than usual. As the fight continues, another bacteria or virus might take that opportunity, like the coronavirus, to attack. While your body is still weak, there isn't enough power to protect from the other intruders. This is why these people are at risk. Sicknesses like cold, asthma, cancer, diabetes, heart or lung disease, fever, chronic respiratory disease, depression, and anxiety could be a big risk. Pregnant women are not at risk of coronavirus. While they do need to help stand up, or maybe they have some pain, they are luckily not at risk. A woman with a small baby has a good immune system that can fight other sicknesses. If the woman isn't over 60 and doesn't have a sickness, then she's not at risk. But if the woman has coronavirus, the unborn baby also might get it. Newborns, toddlers, and young children aren't at a high risk. There aren't a lot of children who had the coronavirus. Doctors say it is because they have a good immune system and heal faster. Well, now I'll tell you how we can help those people in need. To help them, you could donate food, masks, hand sanitizer, or even money. Most of those can't go to work, so they can't buy a lot of food. To help them, you could donate them food and water to eat, masks and hand sanitizer, so they could keep themselves safe. And last but not least, should donate money to food banks. Food banks have more access to food than you do. They can also buy more food than you could for the same amount of money. This is why you should donate the money to them instead of just buying the food yourself or giving it to the people. It is hard to go outside, but they have it even harder. You could help them by delivering their food to them. They stay home and you grab their food and bring it to them. This is because they should stay home to be safe. You, on the other hand, are less likely to catch the coronavirus. It is important to help people around in this hard year. Share your knowledge. Not all people have internet, or maybe they don't know, but either way, you should learn from them and tell them about what you know. Have a talk about math. Maybe they could learn from you, or you could learn from them. Spend some time with them. If they're your grandparents, you could call them, or if you can come over, you should play a game of checkers, snakes and ladders, anything else. Maybe you could bake a cake with them, or cookies. Tell stories or just read. If they're not your grandparents, you don't have to come over or call, but you could become friends. Just remember that you should not travel around now. Help them around the house if you're allowed to help them. You should help by cleaning the house, watering the plants, help cook, deliver things, donate things. A clean house is good. Helping them around is also good. Now add them together and you have even better. And that is my topic of how to help people at risk of coronavirus. My actions is to spread awareness of how to keep yourself safe in the coronavirus. I also want to help those people in need, and I want to encourage other people to do the same because some people leave their parents or grandparents and they don't return to help them. This is why I choose this topic, so I can help those people in need of it. And any questions?
Okay, I have a few
Okay,
questions. Thank you so much, Anar, for your presentation. You're well prepared and you know your topic really well, and I'm super duper impressed. And it's very, very organized and very, very relevant this time. Okay. So I have a few questions for you. So number one, how did you choose your topic or issue? What was the
Well,
reason behind it?
I like to spend time with our family.
Mm-hmm.
And when coronavirus started, I we went to Kazakhstan to spend time with my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I also hear that lots of people don't help their grandparents, and it made me want to know how they feel being like left out, family.
Thank you. And my next question is, what was the greatest challenge you had to overcome during this process?
I think my greatest challenge was to try to mm, find the answers and checking them out because some of the sites they say different things and they are almost the same but a little bit different. Some have like a little bit a different answer, and it's hard to choose which one I should put, or maybe I should put all of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then my third question is, how have you grown as a learner?
Well, I learned to use my laptop more, the research skills, how to cite things, and how to research
Mm-hmm.
research answer to my questions so they're actually true and not something that are just a lie.
Mm-hmm. And what was the most surprising or interesting thing you learned?
Well, the most surprising thing I learned would be that the coronavirus and everything else doesn't affect most people in need when it's a small virus. It attacks in big groups like most bacteria and sticks to you to grow more of its own kind, and then take over the body of the person it takes.
Okay. And then my last question before we open the room for questions from the audience. I have one last question. Okay. So please be patient, our guests, and we will shortly unmute you and we will get to your questions in a while. Okay. My last question would be, what might your next steps be?
Well, my next steps, like I said, would be to spread awareness to other people so we can have more people helping each other. It's not only the kindness, the help, but it also helps to share each other with each other what you know and what maybe they know,
Mhm.
or just have a fun time.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Anar. And your friends have some questions. So we're going to start with Sophia. Sophia, I'm going to unmute you now and please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so just before my question, I'd like to say that I thought that your presentation was super organized and it was it gave me a lot of new information. Um, so yeah, I just want to say you were very good at that. And how many elderly people have passed away due to the coronavirus?
Well, I didn't exactly research about that, but it does say that a lot of them had died. But there are some that have been saved by doctors and the ways of there, but they are still learning about the coronavirus. So hopefully there won't be any more accidents.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything more you want to ask, Sophia, before we move on to the next guest? Or are you good? Hang on, sweetie.
I think that's all maybe.
Okay. Is,
Or wait, actually, do you do all of the steps that you listed? to protect yourself?
Yes. It's like, what do you mean? I don't exactly understand you.
Well, like, do you clean your house every day? Do you, wear a mask every time you go outside?
Yes, I do, and I try to spread awareness to other people in my family. Some of my family that are in other countries, like farther families.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Sophia. Those were really good questions. And I see Alyssa's hand is up, so I'm going to unmute Alyssa. And you can fire away.
My question was about how about if your grandparents live in another country right now, but you really want to help them, what could you do?
Well, you could call them. They'd be happy to hear your voice and try to encourage them to stay home. And you could always try to send a package from your place to other people or to your grandparents. But I think calling them is just as good because, you could talk to them and that's what they really want you to know. They want to feel like they're needed in your family.
That's a really good question, Alyssa. Thank you so much. Is there anything more you want to ask before I move on to Isabel?
Oh, no, actually, no, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Hi, Isabel. I'm going to unmute you right now, and you can fire away.
So I again want to say that was a great presentation. I feel like I've learned a lot. And I actually, sometimes when I go outside, I always bring a mask, but I don't always put it on. And your presentation has persuaded me to wear one. So one of my questions is, has anyone close to you gotten sick with coronavirus, or an elderly person gotten sick with coronavirus that you knew? And is that why you did this topic?
No, none of my family, at least that I know, because I have a huge family out there. Not something that I know. I don't think any of them got sick of anything.
Okay, that's really good. I'm glad they didn't get sick. So another one of my questions is, I know Sophia, I know Lisa asked this question, how do you communicate with people overseas? And you said through call, but what if there's a huge time difference and the time that's convenient for you is when they're asleep?
So you mean like if you have 12 a.m. in the morning and they have 12 p.m.?
Yeah.
Well, you could always try time of you because, well, depending on when they wake up and when you wake up or go to sleep at least, because you might start waking up at 7 a.m. while it's still 7 p.m. for them. Or maybe they're early wakers like my grandfather. He wakes at 5 a.m. So it depends.
That's a good idea. I'll try that.
Thank you, Isabel. That was a sweet question. Okay, so I am going to call on Nikita first, and then after Nikita, Alyssa again, okay? So Nikita, I'm gonna unmute you right now, and you should be ready to go.
I want to say again that it was a great presentation, Anar. And my question was that, do you know like how many kinds of coronavirus is there, or is just one kind of it?
Well, it's a bit of a hard question. I tried researching, but like lots of sites have only a few of them, and then other sites have a few new of them, and it's sometimes a bit hard to find out what exactly numbers. But there are a few coronaviruses. There's a few different ones. They all kind of act the same, but they're a little bit different from each other.
Okay, thank you. That was all my question.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Okay, let's go on to Alyssa. I think Alyssa has a follow-up question. You are unmuted right now.
Yes. When Anar and Isabel were talking, I noticed that no matter how big the time difference is, if it's less than 12, then it's pretty easy. It's about for some person in the morning, for the other in the evening. But even if it's 12, but even if it's 12-hour difference, you could still do it something like 9 a.m. in the morning and 9 p.m. in the evening, or 10 a.m. in the morning and 10 p.m. in the evening. There will always be time when both are awake. You don't sleep 12 hours a day.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa. Okay, I see that. Okay, let's have Tair first and then Isabel next. Yes, Tair, your microphone is already unmuted.
I like the presentation, and my question is, how long does it take for an elderly person with the coronavirus to cure themselves?
Well, it depends on where they're from, how hard did it hit them. Because if it's just like a little coronavirus, it just started, it's for sure shorter. But if it's already they didn't get there in time, like it's already a bigger problem, it might take them longer. And it also depends on what the doctor does. Because some doctors might heal it faster, some might slowly, and like I said earlier, coronavirus has a few of its kind.
Any more additional questions, Tair? Before I move on.
Oh, if there's different time zones, you can send a message.
That's a good idea. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to Isabel. There you go. Sweetie, you're unmuted.
So one of the questions I have, which I just thought about, you talked a lot about elderly people and old people getting sick from coronavirus and dying, but are there any other diseases that make a young person more vulnerable to coronavirus?
So like, you mean sicknesses that might make you more at risk?
Yes.
Well, I listed some of them out in the beginning, but
I missed the beginning. I apologize.
oh, so it's asthma, like heart or lung disease, anxiety, depression, because depression might really be a hard sickness for some, diabetes, and cold, fever, even some of the small ones, because they do make you weaker. So pretty much any sicknesses that have like a big impact make you more vulnerable to getting it.
Okay. Thank you. I have just one more question. I know that there's lots of medicines and drugs out there. Is there any drug that has found that helps people with coronavirus?
I hadn't really searched for that because like the coronavirus is all new. They still don't know how to exactly heal it, and they don't exactly know how how did coronavirus appear. But if you mean because of the coronavirus, the name, then no, it doesn't have anything with the year or anything. Coronavirus is actually named for the crown of the because corona is in Latin crown, and the spikes around the virus itself look like a little crown when you cut it in half.
Why is it called COVID-19?
CO is for coronavirus, W is for virus, and D is for the disease. So coronavirus, virus, disease, something like that. And then the 19 was because it happened in 2019.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Isabel, that was a really good question. Any more questions before we dismiss you guys? Okay, let's see. Hang on, give me a few seconds. Okay, I think the answer is yes. So everybody, boys and girls, why don't we applaud Anar for doing such a wonderful job? Anar, I'm so proud of you, and we all are. And your presentation was very, very organized and informative. And I think you should be very, very proud of yourself. So keep at it and keep it up. We're going to have a lot of good things to say to your teachers. And I will dismiss everybody now. And thank you for being such a good audience and for asking really good questions. So goodbye, everybody. And thank you so much for your time. Anar, wonderful job. I will end the meeting right now and I'll see you around. Okay, bye. Good job, Anar.